Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is here, but I'm joined today by Liz, Gail.
Hi,
How's it going,
everybody.
Liz, Gail?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. The one thing I forgot to bring up is your YouTube channel. That was silly.
No, you're fine.
I'm
Liz, Gail all over the place. You just search Liz, Gail, Scientology, and you'll find me.
That's true, but it's just good form.
That's true.
So here we go. Guys, if you're not yet subscribed to Liz, Gail, you can find her on YouTube at Liz Gail or at Liz, Gail. There, we've done it.
There we did. Thank you.
Well, we just came back from a weekend in Los Angeles, and we're going to talk about something that you created, a giant list of all the kids who, everyone who grew up in Scientology as kids and have publicly spoken out. It was an incredible list. But we haven't had a chance to chat at all about Saturday. The last time you and I were in LA together, it was a quagmire of sorts. Some people got arrested. It was kind of a deal. How did this weekend compare to that weekend last month?
I felt great about this weekend. I felt much more conscious about knowing what I would get into. I felt like I had already gotten my feet wet a little bit. But there were so many arrests right before we went down, right? The weekend before we were down there, it was also pretty wild. So I was glad it was a peaceful protest for sure.
Yes. Everyone had an amazing time. It was very peaceful. There were no altercations. There were no confrontations. And there were so many more people there than usual. There, you would have thought there would have been a lot more opportunity for something to have gone wrong. And yet it went really well. I thought it was kind of a really good precedent. And I think it goes to show that it's not the protesters that are creating the altercations.
Right.
It's the people that Scientology and Francois Coster are getting worked up and sending in to create trouble. That's how I saw it.
That's how I saw it too. And I think there was so much love. It was very, very positive energy going on through the night that, I guess there were still a couple of tires slashed.
That's true.
Didn't Snazzy Yodo's tires get done in? I mean, there was par for the course, but we held it together, I think, and did a really good
That's
job.
right. I think Snazzy Yodo had 2 of his tires either slashed or had nails driven in them. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. Just a coincidence.
Yeah, of course.
So one of the parts, one of the moments on Saturday that got really connected with people was this one right here, when a whole bunch of us walked around the Celebrity Center. I don't know if this video does it justice, if you can truly see how long this piece of paper is. Me and Laura were holding the back of it. I mean, that thing is really long. Is it over 50 feet long?
Yeah, the original roll of paper I got was 100 feet, I think. So I didn't measure it, but yeah, it's long. Each name was about 6 inches high. So yeah, maybe 55. Well, and then the other words written. So yeah, it was about 65, 70 feet.
And I know at one point when we were done walking around the block and the list was put onto the ground, someone did, or even while we were walking, it might have been Serge, who did take one camera and walk down the whole list so people could see all the names that were on that list. And we know it's not a complete comprehensive list, which is why Liz Gail on her website here so this website is liz-gail.com, and I will put a link to that. I'll put a link to it in the description. And it's called The Receipt. The Receipt: Children Scientology Failed. A powerful list of protests against Scientology. What you've put on this website so that everyone can see the names that are currently on the list. Once you see the names that are currently on the list, you can submit names to add to the list, and you have it downloadable as a PDF in case other people want to print the list off and use it in their own protests or whatever. I mean, is that on a PDF? Could a PDF be print on a paper like this? I don't know how that works.
I mean, a PDF is just an easy way to just kind of print it. It should be fairly searchable, quick, faster than copying and pasting. my main hope and intention of, talking with you today is to kind of shout out to the world that it's not a complete list. Even though there are 130 names on the list, there are so many more. And as moving as it was now, I think that it could be even more powerful. And I also got some feedback of, oh, you forgot this person or this person. We can't forget that Scientology has been around for 70 years. So there's a lot more kids. I have a couple criteria that I put right here. I want them to have been people who did speak out publicly. I don't want to dox anybody who's under the radar. I don't want to put anybody's name on the list who has not on their own accord already spoken out in some way against Scientology. I don't think that'd be fair. And I think we all know people who were lost due to negligence or unaliving or horrible situations. And those are really the ones that I don't know. I hate to say it, but some of those people, I don't want to say they've been forgotten. I know there's people out there that remember them, but I want more of us to remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for anyone who might be listening instead of watching, it says here, for the sake of some clarity, I've added a few guidelines to help keep the integrity of the project. All entries should be born or primarily raised in Scientology during their formative years and have publicly spoken out against Scientology, aka not currently under the radar, or lost their lives due to negligence. Okay, I guess that's what you just said. Okay, by the way, when I type in liz-gale.com, it redirects to another website.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
my little blog. And that's my email I usually give out, rustic and resourceful. I'm not trying to I don't know. It's just my little hobby blog. I just thought that it'd be easier to link Liz Gale straight to the receipt because people kind of know my name. Feel free to poke around the blog. It's my own weird little deal. It doesn't have
I
a lot
get it. I
to do
get
with
it.
Scientology.
So liz-gale.com
Yeah.
redirects to the exact page on your blog that has this
Yes.
page.
Yes.
Okay.
For
Awesome.
simplicity's sake, that's what I opted. And then if you click that little button, you don't have to, but suggest a name will take you to a little form. I definitely don't want to gatekeep the list. I don't want to have too hard of criteria that if you really want someone represented, please just throw it up there. That will be easier for me than email because my email is getting a little swamped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I will also go back and add RIP to the ones that we've lost on the list. I had a very sweet request from an ex-Scientologist friend who asked, because I had the people who were spoken out and then the people we lost. And I selfishly put my brother next to me, even though we lost, he would have been at the bottom of the list not next to my name, but I put us together. And so I had some friends say, well, put me with my lost ones too. So I changed it around.
How did you go about putting this list together? Is this just names that you had that you personally were aware of?
Several of them are people I'm aware of. Others are people who have channels or have to have YouTube or TikTok. I used the whyweprotest.net website, which is a hugely comprehensive list of people who have spoken out. And then I searched for the term born in. So there were about 70 people on the Why We Protest website that said born in. But I know there's a lot more that I don't know. I mean, I'm only of a certain generation, a certain geographical area. There's so many lives. There's so many people who were destroyed by Scientology. I know there are hundreds that are not on this list. And I feel compelled to get them all on there so that when this is unrolled in another place or reprinted, and maybe we unroll it all together at the same time all over the country or all over the world, we all feel represented. I want people who felt like they weren't represented to have an opportunity to message me, get on the list, and be represented. It's as simple as that.
I love the idea of people being able to all make their own lists and have this thing pop up cities all over the country and the world at different protests.
Yeah, me too. I had some
cool.
people suggesting they would make a banner or like a t-shirt, and that means something really powerful. And I'm not sure what it all means yet, but it's something really good.
I was amazed that a piece of paper that long only tore once and that it was only Laura's fault.
Only Laura's. Let's all be clear here. It was only Laura's fault. Don't even feel bad. I never expected that list to make it home. I literally never did. And I think Serge has the list. I said, burn it, get rid of it. I'm such a post and ghost that I think I'm in even art and ghost. I'm like, oh, the list, let's burn it and do another one.
So anyway, I'm teasing Laura, but I was truly amazed that the paper survived going around the turns and everything. And so I'm wondering if someone had mentioned some ideas that would make it sort of rip proof. So I mean, I saw someone mention the Tyvek material that you use to wrap houses and make them waterproof. But doesn't Tyvek have stuff printed on both sides of it, or is one side purely blank?
You might be able to order just like blank stuff. Someone else had said some canvas, like the type that you would use to actually string on a painting, but just in a roll. You know what I'm talking about? I think something waterproof. I'd like to. I live here in Oregon, so if I'm going to be doing this, it has to be something that can get rained on, or sprinklers turned on, as they did outside CC. Did you know that they did that?
I think Christy said that as she was rolling the thing up, they turned the sprinklers on and blasted her with the sprinklers.
And I felt so bad because Christy was like, I tried to save the list. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I never thought I'd see this list again. It's in my heart. I can redo it. Like, it's a piece of paper that, it's crazy to expect a piece of paper that long to be intact. But she felt so bad. I thought it's okay.
I'm seeing some recommendations in the live chat. I want to bring up some, but and I know this is crazy expensive, but I can't get the idea out of my head of having some thin leather and having the names like branded on. It would be such a time-consuming project that I would only expect some super, super hardcore dedicated volunteer to take on, but I just can't get it out of my mind because I feel like it'd be amazing. And then you could carry around this big leather roll and we would call you the Wildling.
I saw you say that on that live. I'll take it. I've been called worse, so I'll take it. I have to admit, I mean, it's just the artist in me, and this is not a requirement for anybody else. But for me, when I'm going to do the list again, there's something about handwriting the names that just feels right to me. So I will probably do that. Someone said I could cut them out on my Cricut machine and like iron them on. And that sounded exhausting. But there's a connection, I think, with the handwriting. Like, it's important to me to know who all those people are and to know just enough about their story that when I'm writing their name, I'm like conjuring their essence. I sound like a witch, but I'm like bringing them to it, if that makes sense. That's the artist in me. You all can print the list.
I mean, that gives it, you put your personal self into it by doing it that way. But just for the heck of it, here's some comments I saw on this subject. Kara Feeble says it's very inexpensive to have it printed on vinyl. Okay.
I love it. I love that idea too.
I have a hard time envisioning what that would look like. Vinyl is like, I can imagine vinyl letter stickers, but I can't printing it on vinyl.
Yeah, I'm kind of imagining like super thick. I have a greenhouse that we cover with plastic. I'm imagining like really, really thick plastic that would like roll up and then have the names on it.
And also, I think with Tyvek, if you had a really big fat Sharpie, it should be able to write on that real super easily. Because Tyvek's kind of a slippery surface, isn't it?
It is a slippery surface. And I might honestly be able to, I'm really getting too ahead of myself here, but I might be able to handwrite it and then digitally present that, like scan my handwriting and then have them digitally print it. Maybe that's like an artist's middle ground.
Yes.
Not that I have that great of handwriting. It's just that connection is important. Oh my god.
New project. This is on your channel. Liz, you need to make the next banner out of hemp.
I would adore to do that. Can you imagine me? I'm just like looming. I'm like growing hemp out here in Oregon and just like looming it together, weaving. Oh man.
Let's see. Okay. Safari Dream. Oh, a white bed sheet next time, cut in strips for the scroll. Oh, okay. That's an idea.
Yeah. I thought about that. I think that I do think a plasticky material, because in Oregon, I'm back in Oregon now where it rains. So yeah, I love it. I love and I love all these ideas. I think that at some point coming up with like a definitive plan, maybe I'll order some samples and kind of see what works best. But in the meantime, that's kind of a me thing. I would love for anybody who wants to try this on their own and copy the list, duplicate it on paper, on bed sheets, on, I don't care, whatever you want to do, be creative and don't feel obligated to handwrite it just because I am. I think it's powerful, and I honestly am honored and surprised that people have been caring. And so I'm like, go for it. Share it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And it's true. There could be 10 versions of this list, and that might be some of the cool ways to see which ones present the best, or hold up the best, or take the names the best, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Tommy C's cat says there are some of us ex-cadets from Stonelands too. Yeah.
I know.
Right.
And I don't have you all, and I don't have a way. There isn't a list like this that already exists. So if anybody has a name, I'm super grateful to add it. Because like I said, I want all of us in one place.
Yeah. Sounds like Tommy C could be the source of a lot of good names there.
Yes, please go on the Liz-Gale and send me whatever, please.
Hunter Bay says banner material from a print company. Okay. Good idea.
The problem for me is that it becomes so long. Like if we really get this and it's like 100 feet long, I'll be back to fundraise. Yeah. So yeah.
And Selfless Self says you can use canvas, use whatever ink or paint you're going to use, and then use an outdoor ready polyurethane that is flexible so the scroll can still roll up.
Yes, cool. That's a really good idea too.
Okay, the next one deals with one of the greatest mysteries of the evening. Aaron, you disappeared right before the speeches. Is it because you knew you would cry?
Say you're crying, Aaron. Say you were crying, Aaron.
It's because I had to take the biggest leak of my life and had nowhere to do it that wasn't on camera, and had to go search for a place to relieve myself. That is such a worse answer than I had to go off camera to cry. I'm sorry to disappoint people.
You were crying in a different way.
I was crying for another reason. My bladder was about to explode. It was damn near a medical emergency.
Yes.
Fair
enough. Fair enough. I think we all had a moment like that in the night, though. I mean, I ended up going to a bar around the corner and spending $36 on 2 drinks so that we could use them.
Just so you could use the bathroom?
Yeah. I mean, they were delicious, but yeah.
Was that Birds?
I think so. The one just right around the corner.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next one? EA. Liz, you are an inspiration. I'm making the list for Austin.
Yes. Please tag me in any, like I am speechless. Thank you. That'd be awesome.
And Joelle Orlando, this is on your channel. You are all making history. Hello. Keep up the great work.
Oh, you guys are so kind. Oops. You guys should have seen me just like in my living room before we were going, just like writing this list. And my kids and my husband are just like, what are you doing? I mean, I'm always crafting and doing something, but I would just unroll the scroll a little bit. So they're like 3 feet, and then write a name and then roll it back up. So even I didn't know how long it was.
And I had no idea you were bringing that list. I don't know. I thought you had some kind of a cape. Like, I don't know what I thought. And like, there was.
There was still, it was up to the very last minute. Here's the thing. Like, I've always wanted to embrace the part of myself that is this expressive, creative, like brave person. And I am just starting to feel like I'm living up to that. So I have to admit that I didn't know what I was doing, and I still don't, but that's okay. That's fine. That's art for you, baby.
I think it turned out amazing.
Thank you. Awesome.
Okay, so let's see. I guess showing the website one more time isn't really a help, but I will show your channel one more time on YouTube at Liz Gale, Liz Gale. You can't miss it, and I'll post a link to the website in the description, and also I'll pin a comment to the video as well.
Cool.
All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us as always. And again, thank you as always to everyone who watches until the very end. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
If you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, oh, Auntie Mama, then you could click right inside